Hey everyone, and welcome to the Choir Room with Joe and Mindy. We are so glad to have you with us today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've been able to catch all the episodes up until this point. Last week was really cool. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of playthroughs, and Facebook ads probably helped with that a little bit, but that's okay. We want you guys to know about this show and get you guys to tell your friends, share it, talk back to us. It was really cool last week and got to hear from a lot of people. So I think, was it last week that we realized that Javin Mirabella had won our official...
he was the biggest coffee snob of Grace World, which was kind of unexpected.
It was, it came out of nowhere.
Because, I mean, he wasn't even in the office when we were originally asking everybody, but we actually got an opportunity to ride in a car with him to a video shoot a couple weeks ago, and we made the mistake of bringing up coffee. I mean, not a mistake. We had the great opportunity to talk about coffee, and we didn't realize that he was like, I mean, you guys saw in the video, we had to cut that down significantly, but it was, I mean, he knows everything there is to know about coffee, and so, it was kind of unexpected, but it's cool. It's nice to know that we have somebody that has a, sophisticated...
We have an expert in the house.
Sophisticated palate for the old coffee bean. But Pastor Daniel's definitely a second.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they could go toe to toe in some coffee conversation there. But well, that was pretty exciting, and I know that probably blew some of our minds. But if you ever have any coffee questions, talk to Javin. But we also we're talking about coffee snobs and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully last week too you caught our interview with Dawn, and she got to kind of defend herself when it came to the coffee snobbery, because she got
thrown under the bus.
I know. It was like, I don't think this means what you think it means.
Yeah.
And but anyway, it was great getting to know Dawn a little bit more too. So that was exciting. But we got a lot of stuff happening here at Grace. So what do we got coming up next?
This coming Sunday is Sign Up Sundays. We keep talking about it because it's important. It's an opportunity for everybody to come on over to the FLC after Sunday service and get some ice cream, which is always a plus because it's hot outside, and I love ice cream, and it's a perfect time to get some. But also, it's an event to learn about grace groups. If you're not involved with grace groups, get involved with one. It's our small groups of the church. It's how we connect with one another outside of services. Some of them look like Bible studies. Some of them are bowling groups or volleyball groups. It's just your way of finding someone that's in a similar stage of life or has similar interests as you, and fellowshipping and becoming more than just people that pass each other, on Sunday mornings.
That's really the heart of it, is that we don't want to keep cramming, like, get in a group. The heart behind that is really for us to build relationships, because we need each other, and we don't have to put a group format into a box. It's not like, okay, you're going to go to somebody's house and you guys are going to read this book together and whatever. That may be something you enjoy doing, and I'm sure there's a group for that, but there's other ways for you to connect with people, and even through like Grace YA, they met this past week out at Tom Barn and just played volleyball. If you have interests that can connect you with other people, just open your mind.
Now there's three different versions of grace groups.
Right.
And maybe you've seen the word grace groups around and you're like, okay, so is that like a volunteer situation, or are these, like you just said, Joe, a Bible study? What is the difference between the different kinds? And let's like break it down so people understand what we're talking about.
Right.
So there's three different kinds. There's one, we just call them connect groups. That's just at its nature all about just community, hanging out, and just fellowshipping with one another and establishing those like family and friend kind of, they can go deeper. You feel free to have like a Bible or biblical, study or something if you wanted to, but it could be something similar, like a mom's group or something.
Right.
And then there are equipped groups. Now those are a little more scheduled. I think we call it the 3
Calendar,
C's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Calendar, campus, curriculum. So those are actually a lot more organized. You've seen things like, what's a good example?
Like our classes that we have on Wednesday nights, it might be Financial Peace University. Things that are just practical training, discipleship, maybe going through a book of the Bible, just certain things like that. A lot of those happen here on campus on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings, and then they refresh every season.
Right. So when we say there's like a new season of grace groups, usually that means that the ones that are curriculum based are being refreshed with a new series or a new book or something that's
Right.
being studied.
Right.
So those are your equip groups. And then the last one are serve groups.
Serve.
Maybe you can explain what that is.
Yeah, and serving, even though you think serving is like, okay, I'm going to minister to people, I'm going to give, I'm going to serve, that is a group, because it is a place where you're building relationships,
right.
where you're connecting with people, where you're encouraging each other, and you can do that while you're serving together. And a great example of that is definitely like our worship and creative arts department.
Yeah.
It seems like, oh, we serve the church, we're involved in ministry, or you're a volunteer or something like that. But when you serve alongside other people, you become close to them. They become your family, and you build those strong relationships. And a lot of serving also kind of overlaps with the connecting and with the equipping.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's all all one thing and none of the other. Some just are predominantly more. If you are at the front door on Sunday mornings, greeting people as they come in, introducing them to new people, or helping out in Grace Kids, or being a student leader or a leader at Ascend Student Ministries or Young Adults, those are all considered grace groups, because you're coming together with a common goal, a common purpose there, and you're serving and doing life together. And I think that's probably, that's kind of a churchy phrase right now. We're going to do life together, but we do need to do it together. We need to hold each other accountable, encourage each other, be able to call up somebody on the phone and say, hey, can you pray for me? I'm going through this, I'm going through that. We do that, and the best way to do that is through groups, because we can't have those types of connections during a Sunday morning service. It's just not possible.
It's not. There's just too many people. There's too much going on. There's no way you can connect with everybody. And it's just an important part of the church that we don't ever want to take for granted. Is the ability to meet outside of the church or outside of a big service, and still be able to have family and what's the word I'm looking for? Not communion. Community. I don't know why I'm thinking the word communion. You can have communion in your
you can
small
have
group
communion in your grace group. Yes, absolutely.
But all that being said, that's what grace groups are. And so if this sounds like something you're interested in, and you're like, how do I find out more about these grace groups? Where do I sign up? If only there were a day or a place or an event. Well, that's exactly what Sign Up Sunday is. Any given time, you can always go to the website or on the Grace, the Church Center app. But if you really want to go talk to somebody face to face and say, what is this about? What is your grace group about? What do you do? What is this? Sunday, this coming Sunday, Sign Up Sunday, right after service, come on over to the FLC. It's going to be ice cream, and it's going to be a great time to connect and figure out what's the right group for you, or maybe you should start a group. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. We have training for things like that. We have definitely a format for that. So just a lot of fun stuff. And we've talked about areas for you to serve, and so we actually, as this is airing right now, we're having a great time with our worship and creative arts department, having our quarterly connection night. And this is something that we do often just to get everybody on the same page. We have not just, most Tuesday nights we're having worship and band practice, where we are getting ready for Sunday. But these connection nights are an opportunity to bring our production team and other members of our team that don't normally come out on Tuesday. They come out for this night, and it's just fun. We get to talk to each other, have some food. We always say that food's like involved in every event that we do.
We like
here,
food
right?
around here.
And it's a kind of an on-ramp, not that you can't be a part of the team anytime, but it's sort of like a great, it's like, hey, I've been putting this off, I want to start, like, okay, here's a date for you to start, because it's just very informal, very casual, very fun. But we have more than just what you see on the stage on a Sunday morning.
That's right.
So Joe, what are some other ways that people can serve or get connected in worship and creative arts? Man,
it's a big list. You probably have not realized or haven't taken a moment to just look around on a normal Sunday morning about or seeing like who's on the team, who's involved. So the worship and creative arts department has essentially 3 or 4 different like sub departments. Obviously, there's everything that happens on the platform. So that's the band and the choir, the front line, which are the people that are always up there singing. But then behind the scenes, there are other opportunities like the camera operators, the switchers that actually are controlling which cameras get sent to the live stream that's being aired on Facebook and YouTube. Those of you that aren't aware,
And our website, yeah.
and the website. So if you're unaware, we have the live stream that happens simultaneously at the exact same time as our live service. And so there's a huge team that John Medina oversees. He's our video media director at Grace. And their team is huge, and they're constantly growing. But there's a ton of camera operators, like I said that already. Switchers, which is someone that kind of operates with the cameras, showing which feed gets sent to the internet, to the interwebs. And then there's also the sound team, which controls, as it's probably pretty self-explanatory, what the sound in the house, but also the sound that gets sent to the live stream, because that's a totally different setup. Then there's the lighting department. That's huge.
Yeah.
Lighting is so important. And it sounds like we're just being picky, but it really does make a huge difference, not only for the in-house lighting and having the lights on or off during worship, but also for, again, I keep saying it, the live stream.
Yeah.
The cameras only can see what light, what light shows. So the lighting has to be perfect.
It's very, very important.
And so there's so many different departments or different opportunities or positions that are available. I'm sure there's probably some that I'm not thinking of.
Well,
there's the service manager.
The service manager. Now listen, this is definitely somebody that's an unsung hero of the service, okay? And for those of you who are watching today and you are thinking about where can my specific skill set be used, there's two positions that are incredibly important. I'm not saying that the other ones are not. I'm just saying there's a specific set of skills that a person has to have for both our service manager and the person that runs ProPresenter, our computer. That is a very specific person that needs to be on both of those positions. The service manager is a very important person that a lot of people don't have any idea what they're doing, but they come in here early on Sunday morning. They make sure that every aspect of the service has been covered. We have a whole plan, making sure that everything happens. They connect with Pastor Daniel, whoever is speaking, to make sure that everything that he needs is in place. They assign people to bring the TV out, bring the podium out, to the cues that we might have for videos or things like that are happening during the service. Bring out pastor's prop at this point, at this time. They're making sure that every video gets played, every slide is happening and moving at the right time. They're looking at the whole big picture of the service and keeping it all running very smoothly and communicating with our audio and lighting and video production people all throughout the service, and interacting and keeping an eye on our live stream interactions and things like that. They are amazing people, but those types of people really have to be very sharp, very professional. They have to have good customer service.
Yes, very much.
Because people might, ask questions or say why, it's too loud or the lights are too bright or whatever the case may be, and be able to effectively be able to answer people's questions and help them through all that kind of stuff, and be very organized and very detail oriented, but also big picture oriented. And so that really is a very special person. And so we have just a handful of really great people that do that. But if that sounds like something that is like, oh man, that's amazing, like sounds like something I'd be really good at, please hit us up. Come, you don't have to wait till our next connection night. You can go through our Grace Groups serve area and just drop in an inquiry there. And then our ProPresenter operator, it seems like that wouldn't be this major job, the person that sits at the computer back there, but I'm telling you, that has to be somebody that is sharp and on the ball, organized, paying attention, following every little detail and every little cue of the service. So the ProPresenter person that's back there is changing the slides with the songs.
I was going to ask you, what is a ProPresenter? Okay.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Okay, they have to get ahead of every line of that song to make sure that when you're sitting in that service or watching online, that you are able to sing along and read along.
Yeah.
They're following every video cue, every video that needs to be played, and then pastor's sermon. They're hitting every one of those slides and following him. They're going back, they're going forward. It actually is you have to be really on your toes for that job. So both of those things are incredibly important to our service.
Yeah, and Mindy's making these two positions sound extremely hard. And they're not hard, but you do have to be really aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
The other positions, like a camera operator, you can be very in the moment, and you have a whole team kind of working with you to figure out, okay, we're going to switch from this shot to that shot, or this shot to that shot. Hey, camera 2, zoom out a little bit. And you guys are all like a network. Whereas the service manager and the pro presenter, they work together a lot, but the service manager has their hands on everything.
Yeah.
It's very big picture.
Yeah.
And so if, there's certain people that just won't be a good fit for that,
Yeah.
but some people like strive in that kind of like, they need to know everything that's happening. They need to know what's like, it's something, it does take a special kind of person, but if you're one of those people, that's something that you're just like, oh man, that sounds
Call
like,
us, please.
yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
We have a couple of people that in our team that are just like, it seems like they're made for that, but they need a week off every now and then too.
Yeah.
We all do.
Absolutely.
And so, if you're someone interested in doing something like that, come
Yeah.
on down, because we can
Absolutely.
always use more people on the team.
And just as far as like maybe some interaction that we can get from you guys this week, like what are some questions that you have about worship and creative arts, about maybe some of the positions that we have, or requirements, or just maybe things you're just curious about? That's certainly something that we could hear back from you on, because some people, like I said, you come in on Sunday morning, you're there for the service, you go home, you don't realize all these different things that are happening, and sometimes it's cool just to get the backstory, to get that behind the scenes look. So we're happy to answer your questions in that sense. And
For sure.
yeah, and on the stage too, what we don't want is for you to think that because there's somebody in each one of these positions on the platform that we're not needing to grow beyond that.
For sure.
Yeah, we want to always be multiplying, adding to our team. And if you feel like you want to be a part, but you're maybe feel like, I'm not really at that level yet, I want to work towards that, we want to come alongside you and really just like see where you're at and see if we can help make you better, encourage you, train you, show you how we do things. And we're here to fan that flame, as we say, discover your gift and fan the flame.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to help you find that, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to take, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, we're not trying to monopolize these positions. We really we want to share, and we want everybody to have an opportunity to minister and to be part of something that we think obviously is super awesome.
We're not all super professional.
Territorial. That was the word I was probably looking for.
I'm not like some guitar master. I'm not the one. Come on down if you play guitar and you got that calling in your life. Come on down. We always need more people to come and join the team, and like Mindy said, we're willing to teach and help and help people grow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still learning, you're still learning.
We're all still learning. There's always somebody better than us, right?
That's right.
Forever. So we try to be the very best version of ourselves that we can be, and we do it all unto the Lord, and we do it together and have a great time doing it. So. We have some other really exciting things coming up here throughout the fall. The kids are back to school.
Yay!
And that kind of brings everybody back around. Like, okay, we're going to settle back into that routine, that rhythm, that flow. And so we've got we had a busy summer. Now we have a whole new fall set of events. So one big thing that just happened that we want to get behind and pray behind is the See You at the Pole happens in September, and on September the 15th, I believe, I'm not going to say when See You at the Pole is. I'm pretty sure it's that day, but just in case I'm wrong, we won't talk about that. But and it is right around the See You at the Pole time. But our youth pastors, Chris and Annalisa, Ascend Student Ministries, which is phenomenal, are going to be partnering with other youth pastors in our area and with Hernando County FCA, and they're going to be having a major rally coming together with other youth groups, other youth ministries in the area at Springstead High School on September 15th. And so Ascend won't be here on the campus that day, but they're all going to be going over there that night. And so they want your prayers. If you have students, get them there, get them into Ascend. Obviously, that's number one. But
for sure.
We want to just see everybody come together. So if you see that pop up on our social media, share that, because this is a community event. This is a community endeavor to unite students around this area and get them plugged into that. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
And it's really cool that Springstead's letting that go down, because I know that it's hard nowadays for a church to just like walk up and say, hey, we'd like to come on into your school and pray over your students. It's we're living in a weird world where people are very afraid of letting anybody do anything like that. And so that Springstead is like come on down. I
Yeah,
love that.
that's
and,
huge.
And so, yeah, like Minnie said, go ahead and start praying now about this event, because that's our next generation that's coming up behind us, and you know, a lot of good can come from an event like that.
Yeah.
And it's really just our job to go ahead and just cover that whole thing in our prayers.
Absolutely. And you know, there's like a wave of really amazing, exciting things coming here to Grace World. And you've been hearing little bits and pieces of Pastor talking about our plans for our future here on this campus and our facility, and hopefully you're getting very excited about that. And we're going to be moving forward with that very soon. We're having several events all throughout the fall. If you haven't been invited to one yet, you're going to be invited. They're happening all throughout the fall, and for you to get more information on where we're going as a church, where we're going in the future. A really, really important day that is going to be the beginning of a lot of things unrolling here is going to be on September the 12th. If you're a member of this church, we're having a very special business meeting on September 12th. You're going to be hearing about it nonstop from now until then,
That's
okay?
right.
Because it's very important.
Yes.
It's very important. And so if you call Grace World Outreach Church your home, it's really important that you go through next steps so that you can walk through our membership process.
It's true.
Because only members can vote in business meetings. And what we're about to vote on is big and is a big part of our future. And so if you have not gone through next steps and have officially become a member of our church, encourage you to do that right away. You can do that online.
That's right. Online. You can do it online or in person. We actually have in-person classes happening here on campus as well.
And you can go, there's a website for that, or place on our website for that, graceworldag.org/next steps. Very easy to remember. So you can sign up online, do it in the comfort of your own home, or you can come here on Sunday mornings. It's 3 classes, and it's a lot of really great information about our church.
It's like a video series, but there's also interaction where you can fill out little forms and the booklet and stuff like that to learn all about the church, our history, how, our story, his story, your story are the sections that we kind of dive into. And it's, like I said, the history of the church, and obviously what we believe in, and then also, how you get involved and what role you play in this big,
Yeah. We want you to have buy-in. We want you to have ownership and be a part of this house. So if you haven't done that already, please go ahead and get involved in next steps. But September 12th, just plan on sticking around after church for a little bit for this very important business meeting. And just one more thing before we take off today. We got a big day happening on September 19th. We were just saying how in the fall, things kind of get back to normal. And so there's basically almost like I don't know if it's a holiday per se, but
it's a national event.
Yeah, it's a national event.
Yeah, National Back to Church Sunday.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
September the 19th, and that is going to be a major event here. We're going to have just we're going to have a big church party is what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate the fact that there is really no place like Grace, because we believe that. We believe it with all of our heart, and we want this community to know that there's no place like Grace. And if you've been with us over the last few years, you know that God is has done some amazing things in this house, that God has just taken us into some different places, and we want people to know how great of a church this is, and that we're always getting better, but we want to tell our community. And so you're going to see a major rollout of Grace World Outreach Church, hype, promotions, hoopla, celebration, whatever words we can think of, celebrating this church and how amazing it is.
Material content, there's going to be
social media
presence,
some new
some swag,
Grace World swag coming out here. We want you to get excited about your church. There's going to be some social media evangelism that we're going to be rolling out. We want you to share. Tell your story. Tell people all about this. You're going to be hearing more and more about that in the weeks to come. But it's all going to lead up to September 19th, National Back to Church Sunday. So be thinking of people that God lays on your heart to invite, who have maybe they've been waiting, they've been kind of holding back. Maybe during the whole COVID season, they got out of the habit, the spiritual discipline of being plugged into a local church. We want this to be a time where people make that fresh start. and plug back in.
And it's not like a numbers game. You know, we're not trying to just fill seats. If we really truly love our church and we really believe there's no place like Grace, which I do believe that, if we really think that we're making a difference in our community and we're offering things that are valuable to people, not only just, you know, through the gospel, but the amount of resources we have as far as classes. I mean, we keep calling it that Grace World really is a place for the whole family.
Yeah.
If you have kids and your kids go to Grace Kids, if you know anybody that also has children that aren't plugged in to a church,
get them here. Get them here. Yeah.
So this event obviously sounds like a pep rally, you know, but it's also a real time to take a step back and look and think, who do I know that isn't plugged into a church that might actually want to want to come, that might want to join me in this awesome experience that we get to share with and get to have every single week?
This is a healthy church, and
Yes.
that is precious. That is special. And so, and in some ways, you know, it is kind of a big pep rally, you know, pep rally or, you know, that big locker room, you know, gathering. It gets you all excited. It gets you realizing like, all right, we're going to do this.
Right.
And we're going to reach this community. We're going to let people know that there is a place where they can come and encounter Jesus and have a great time and meet some wonderful people. And it is a church for the whole family. So, we're
if you
excited.
believe that there's no place like Grace, this is the time.
Yeah.
It's leading up to it. We're not there yet, but start, you know.
Yeah, be praying about who God wants you to reach out to. Take that step of faith and invite that person at the restaurant that you see every single week, or you know, that person that's behind the counter at the drugstore or the gas station, and be ready. Like this is a great opportunity for this to be their time to step into the house of God. So I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
I know. So we got so many things happening at Grace World, guys. Please keep watching the choir room because you get a little more backstory, a little more info watching here with us. And so hopefully this has been informative, and we'll keep it fun and interesting as best we possibly can, right?
That's right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.